Hoo, 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 hoo. Oh, yeah. Woo! Woo-hoo! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a game. What a game. Your New Jersey Devils follow up a stinker at home against the San Jose Sharks. All of the doomsdayers and the naysayers came out from the shadows as usual. And your New Jersey Devils go on the road to Sunrise, Florida, and defeat the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers by a score of 4-1, ending a 7-game heater for the Florida Panthers. Woo! What an absolute signature win. The Devils go into a playoff battle atmosphere. That was a playoff battle tonight, fellas. A playoff battle, and your New Jersey Devils found a way, despite getting outplayed for stretches of the game. Your New Jersey Devils go into Sunrise, end a 7-game heater, and beat the defending Stanley Cup champions by a score of 4-1. And I'm just going to start it off with a...
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? The New Jersey Devils are legitimate, folks. I've been telling the doomsdayers, the naysayers. Oh, man, I got to calm down. Your boy is hyped up. Obviously, how could I forget? Win or lose, we booze. And tonight, we're celebrating with a little Dirty Devil vodka, the official vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. We're going to do a little bit of that. We got, the craft ice there. Just do a little vodka, and I think I'm going to do a little splash of ginger ale here tonight. A little ginger ale. Little ginger ale splash. Cheers to all of my Devils fans out there. What an absolute amazing victory for the boys. And I got a whole lot of notes from tonight. A whole lot of notes. I'm trying to scan the chat. You guys are very chatty, like I said. Winning makes everyone very happy, and it cures all. So, cheers to all my Devils fans out there. What an absolute beautiful game tonight. Okay, so before the game, it's a Stifler. It's a Stifler right here. Before the game, we find out Stefan Nason elevated to the top line with Nico and Timo. Mercer going down to the third with Cotter and Halla. Thought that was very interesting. A lot of people have talked about different line combinations and things so far this season. A lot of people said they even would like to see Nason with jackhughes. I would not be opposed to that. I think that could work potentially, but interesting to see Keefe trying to kind of shake it up a little bit after the shutout loss, where obviously the Devils generated 0 goals, a kind of brutal outing against Blackwood. But at 8:30, Jesper Bratt, the peanut butter and jelly connection strikes again. Bratter with an unbelievable backhanded saucer across the ice, finds the seam to get it to Jack, and Jack just blasts it, giving the Devils the 1-0 lead at 8:30. And that's how the period ended. And my God, some big saves for Markey that period. And he stood on his face tonight. Let's call it what it is. I was and I guess it was the video that went out today. All my days blend together sometimes. But in the Florida West Coast road trip West Coast, the Florida road trip video. I mentioned that I was looking for the Markstrom from the Western Canada road trip, not the Markstrom from the prior 2 games. The Markstrom that played in Vancouver and Calgary was A+, top of his game Markstrom. We got that Markstrom again tonight, and I do believe we're going to get that guy more often than not. Now, off on a side tangent, I'm all over the place right now. Your boy's a scatterbrain. Cheers. I really want to see Marky in net the next game. I have a sickening feeling that we will see Allen. After a game like tonight, I go right back to Markstrom, no hesitation. I know a lot of you agree. I don't think we'll see it, but that's a topic I guess we'll get to once it actually happens and Allen starts Thursday night against the Panthers. I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh, yeah, late in the first, I thought that was a BS call on Dylan. I think it was the roughing on Tkachuk while shorthanded. The Devils had to kill off over a minute of 5-on-3. I mean, scary times. The Panthers are scary enough at even strength. Someone was joking in the chat during the game that I can't tell when the Panthers have a power play or not. And there was large stretches of that game at 5-on-5 even strength play. It did look like a Panthers power play. That team is lethal. There's a reason they won the cup. Our boys are heavier, edgier, more violent, but I would say that the Panthers are heaviest, edgiest, most violent. And you saw what they could do to teams tonight. The Devils survived stretches where we were getting dominated. They counter-punched well, but I thought that call on Dylan was BS. The Devils kill it off, but they were outshot and out-hit big time in that first period. I had to clip it at the moment because I knew I'd forget to go back to it. Yeah, after the first period, Devils had 6 shots on goal. Panthers had 14. Devils with 6 hits in the first period. Panthers with 17. Devils had 10 block shots in the first period alone. Panthers with 4. But back to what I've been saying about how I want this team to come out and start the war and not kind of survive it. Tonight was another one of those where they didn't. But, I'm not going to complain. It was a great win by the Devils. But, some things did go their way tonight. It is what it is. But the Panthers definitely have shown, in my opinion, the blueprint for what it takes to be a deep, deep playoff hockey team and a team that's capable of winning a cup. They didn't win a cup by accident. They're going to have an amazing regular season this year. I'm sure they're going to go deep into the playoffs, and you saw why. But Jack gives them the 1-0 lead in the first off that beautiful pass. And then in the second period, again, the Devils come out. I was hoping they were going to come out with a little bit of a jump. More of the same. They're getting dominated. The puck was in our end, a lot of the period, at least in the first half of the period. And it seemed like only a matter of time. And then sure enough, Cotter got called for a penalty, and then pretty much right away into the power play. Reinhart tips one in front, ties it up at 1, and I was like, all right, now this is going to be a test because we just kind of survived a while, kept it 1-0. They finally broke through, tied up 1-1. And then at 17:29, Mercer to Timo.
He's pretty and he lives in
we got the wrong.
City.
We got an error. We got an error. User error. Sorry, guys. Like I was saying, to Timo.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Timo Meyer, my friends. A lot of people talking smack on Timo recently, saying, "Oh, I wish we could undo that deal." Blah blah blah. Timo is a bull. He's doing the little things in the corners. He was giving guys, the business all night. I wish it was to a higher degree than what he was doing, but you could see him getting physical. He is an agitator. He is the closest thing I do believe the New Jersey Devils have seen to Claude Lemieux in quite some time. And I love Timo. You guys know it's always Timo time here. Timo with a big goal, his 7th of the season at 17:29 to give the Devils the go-ahead goal in the second. And I'm just looking here. Also in the second period, Luke made an insane pass to Mercer. He just looked up and hit him up the middle. And then obviously Mercer came in and just got robbed with the glove. Not the best shot by Mercer, but in a situation like that, it is not, everyone likes to flame guys. He got off a good shot. It was just, Knight read it perfectly and flashed the glove and made the glove save. But Mercer robbed there. And then obviously also in the second period, what a scrap by Brendan Dillon. Brendan Dillon and is it Gadjevich? They were chucking bombs. That was a throwback tilt. Absolute, just beautiful fight from Dillon and Bagdovich. What a scrap. Just bombs away. At one point, the jersey was over Bagdovic's head, and Dylan's feeding him uppercuts. Total old school hockey. Love Dylan. He's an old school dude. Chucking bombs. You saw him with the ice pack on in the box, but what an insane second period tilt we were treated to there. Devils with the 2-1 lead going into the third. And I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. We all knew that Florida was going to pour it on. Florida was really going to come on hard in that third period, and they did. And once again, your New Jersey Devils were able to find a way to weather the storms when they came and continue on with their game. Early in the third period, I forget who it was on. Luke made a great play. He was in the offensive zone, and then the Panthers were coming up. He had a great hustle play where he flew back and closed somebody off on the wing. I forget who it was, but I made a note. Like, one of the best defensive plays I've seen from Luke in a while, and it was a thing of beauty. He just flew to the guy, kind of jammed him up, and just negated the whole play. Gadjevich, again, we almost saw, I thought we were going to see another incident with him. He was, checked dowling near the open door, which is obviously very potentially dangerous in those situations. Curtis McDermott was out there. He tried to get a little piece of him, but came off the ice before we could do that. And then Jack set up Palat for a beautiful opportunity with an open net. Big save. Unfortunately, Palat couldn't finish, and a lot of us have been wanting that top six finishing winger to play with Jack. I do believe, Bratt, if that was Bratt where Palat was, Bratter was bearing that. And in the chat, we were talking about it. Any real top six winger that could finish that should have been a goal. Even a guy like Toffoli, I believe, would have finished that. But obviously, it is what it is. Palat couldn't get it off quick enough. Big save there. Game remains 2-1. We saw an interesting trip on Pesce, where we also saw the rare embellishment, a.k.a. the dive, kind of, I think it was behind the net. Yeah, behind the net. Pesce gets in and gets a little bit of I honestly didn't, even rewatching, I didn't think it was a penalty, to be honest, because it wasn't, I thought that was very kind of Bush League, but they call the penalty on Pesce, and then they call Tkachuk for the embellishment. I don't think it was a penalty. And honestly, in some of these scenarios, I wish the refs had the balls to call an embellishment penalty and not a penalty on the other guy, so that the team of the diver ends up shorthanded. You only really see the embellishment when they're also calling a penalty. Usually it negates minors. But I would love to see it in situations where it's not a penalty and a guy's trying to sell it and just go, nope, you're in the box and you're shorthanded now for being an acting piece of shit. But you don't really see that. And then at 15:07 of the third.
Yo, Paulie. Hey, yo, Paulie.
Hey, yo, Paulie. Paul Cotter, part-time air DJ, pregame, part-time menace, full-time heavier, edgier, more violent. Paul Cotter with a little laser at 15:07, giving the Devils some breathing room, giving them the 3-1 lead on the defending Stanley Cup champions in their building, looking to build on a 7-game heater. Cotter lasers it in. 3-1 good guys. And with the empty net at 18:58, Palat's not going to miss those when there's no keeper in there. Palat from Jesper Bratt gives the Devils the 4-1 lead. That is how the game ends. And what a phenomenal night to be a fan of these New Jersey Devils. If you're one of the clowns that's like, the season's over, they lost to San Jose, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Good teams play like shit sometimes. And then they rebound and go knock off the defending champions in their own barn and end their 7-game heater. That's what the chat is flying. That is what your New Jersey Devils did tonight. This is a massive, massive dub on the road. 2 points in the bank already. And now they're looking to go spoiler and sweep the Panthers in this little 2-game set here, with the chance to go in and bank 4 points in the first 2 games. Obviously, the Panthers are going to come back with a vengeance. We will see Bobrovsky and net, I'm sure, for the Panthers. I am hoping we see Jacob Markstrom. This stuff with the goalies really infuriates me. I fully expect to see Allen, but on no planet, if I am in charge of the organization, am I going with Allen. Markstrom's going back in there 1,000%. But wow. Wow, oh wow. Devils win big start the Florida road trip off with on a beautiful note, 4-1 W, and whew, I am jacked up, boys. We saw a heavyweight scrap with Dylan. Oh, my God. What's up, Andy? What are we drinking tonight? We're going with a little Dirty Devil vodka with ginger ale. With ginger ale, the insane Pollock. Where are the Doomers at? I don't know. Where are the Doomers? Where are the Doomers? Gordon Bombay hit the post too. Always love a Mighty Ducks reference. Andy, that first 1.5 periods was a little scary. Absolutely. It really was. The Devils seemed a little timid, a little gun shy. They weathered the storm, and they were trying to counterpunch. It was kind of like the boxer. I always use boxing references or UFC because I'm a combat sports guy. But when you see UFC guys or combat boxers covering up and guys wailing on them, and you're like, oh, my God, this guy's getting his ass kicked. And then out of nowhere, like after weathering the storm, they'll just throw like a crazy hook and crack a guy, and you're like, whoa, he's still alive. That's kind of what the Devils were doing, and you would see them getting dominated, puck in our end the whole time. Then all of a sudden, there'd be a couple crisp passes, and now we're on the attack. But they were few and far between for a lot of the game. But shout out to the boys. Shout out to Markey, man. Markey with, what's the official number on the saves here? Markey with 34 saves on 35 shots. That's going to help the old goals against average and the save percentage for sure. And his numbers needed it. He had a couple bad outings that, had those numbers not looking so hot. But a game like this will definitely help. Exupa Maki. Great game by Markstrom. All around awesome effort. Weathered the storm when they pressed and ripped their hearts out when it mattered most. Absolutely. The killer instinct was on display. But your New Jersey Devils, guys, don't get it twisted. Against the number one team in the East, the defending Stanley Cup champions, the two-time Eastern Conference champions in their own building, looking to build on a 7-game winning streak, came out there and took their hearts tonight. What an amazing performance. And again, Markstrom, can't say enough about Markstrom. Mark had a good performance for sure. Yep. What's up, Ritter Engine? What a game. The boys put on a great effort. Yeah, they absolutely did. That was the Markey we expect to see. He was a tip away from a shutout. Yeah, guys, this was Western Canada road trip Markey. And again, not to keep beating a dead horse, but I will, because this is what I do, and this is my show, and I can say whatever I want. I really want to see Markstrom next game. I don't understand for the life of me, all these people that have been in hockey for so long, everyone has seen starting goalies play regularly, kind of get in a groove and go on little runs. Every time Markstrom plays well, it gets interrupted with a forced Jake Allen start. Even in the Western Canada road trip, you can't argue with the result, but he had that great game in Vancouver, 6-0 shutout, was 5.5 minutes away from another shutout in Calgary before we kind of melted down in Calgary. Then he sits his ass on the bench. Allen gets a start in Edmonton. We win 3-0, but that easily could have been Markstrom's 3-0 shutout, I do believe. And so that would have been nearly 3 consecutive games of shutout hockey for Markstrom. Instead, he's a long time in between starts. And when we were home for that Montreal game, he looked, not shaky, but not like he did in Western Canada. But tonight it was A+ Markstrom. Completely A+ Markstrom. Andy, nice to see Palat bury that one at the end, but damn, he needs to be replaced on that line. I think we all, on our holiday wish lists, are all looking for that true finishing sniper winger for the top 6 to play with Jack. I mean, that obviously is our most glaring need at the moment. Joseph, great performance by the team tonight. Love it. Let's go Devils. I'll see them Saturday in Tampa. Very nice. I have seen a game it was actually, I believe, the St. Pete Times Forum back in the day. Now it's Amalie Arena or whatever. They have that nice statue of former New Jersey Devil Dave Andrechuk out front. Pretty cool. Turco Media, what's up, Brian? DJ Pauly. Yeah, DJ Pauly was doing his thing pregame. That was a pretty hilarious clip the Devils put up. Unhinged Devs fan, Ace and fellow Barbarians. This team would have won the fight. I'm fucking nuts on the beautiful Cotter girl from Heisher. Heard periods 1 and 2 on radio, driving home where we watch. Saw third live. Unhinged Devs fan tonight. Oh, here we go, guys. Get ready for John Woodson, folks. John Woodson in the building. I don't know why I'm going to give him the time of day, but I will. John Woodson, of course, with some bullshit. Got lucky with the refs tonight. That was not a dive by Tkachuk, but man, Cotter is an absolute piss missile. Hits in laser beam. That was not a dive by Tkachuk, John Woodson. Come on, man. That was straight out of the soccer playbook. He definitely tried to sell that hard. But, guys, while not as tough as the Panthers, this New Jersey Devils team is.
Get a little heavier, get a little edgier, a little more violence.
Tonight was a test. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Last year's Devils team would have probably taken the team bus to the emergency room for the entire squad after a game like tonight. Again, we did not match their intensity, but clearly a much heavier, edgier, more violent team than last year. No one personifying that violent ways more than my man Brendan Dillon just chucking him. I was going absolutely ballistic during the Dillon fight. Devils ended the game with 25 hits, and the Panthers had 36 because they are just, like I said, they are heaviest, edgiest, most violent. And hopefully this New Jersey Devils team aspires to get to that level. But no shame in that aspect of the game whatsoever. They more than held their own. They survived the little stints of, getting beat up on a little bit and the extended ozone time that the Panthers had. And a shameless plug, they're not going to be here much longer, guys. Heavier, edgier, more violent. The first drop, link in bio. Hoodies are gone. There's a select amount of T-shirts left. Get one while they last. But this guy, oh, here we go. John Woodson. Who got Woodson downplaying the win on their bingo card? Ron. Everyone did. Everyone had Woodson downplaying the win on their bingo card. Every single person who's a regular here predicted Woodson would come here with some sort of negativity, but it's okay. Michael S. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Keep Markstrom in net for Thursday. Could not agree more. I want to see Markstrom in the worst way, and I think they should let him. Again, the math team is going to be like, but load management, and guys can't play these amount of games anymore. I would love to be in these meetings. I'd give him a slap. Give Marky the net. Ritter engine, huge confidence booster for sure. We killed their winning streak. Love to kill a winning streak. ESPN essentially doesn't even have a post game. It's like they do like one interview or two, and then they just kind of do like the, around the league kind of stuff, showing clips and everything. So yeah, their post game sucks. I hate when games are on ESPN, but it is what it is. Dirk's Files. That was an awesome game. The boys look great, and Markstrom was on his game tonight. Markstrom was more on his game than we've seen since Western Canada, and this is the Markstrom I was hoping we were going to get this summer, or even back to last season. Man, how long have I been mumbling? Sorry, guys. I got excited and I hit the mute button. See? Fat fingers. But thank you, Andy MC, for the team. Check your mute button. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's go Devils. Thank you very much. And obviously the audio is a problem. Pride and respect. Also, thank you. No audio. The audio is back. I fat fingered the mic. I know. I want to try to disable the button. I get all excited and I start hitting all kinds of shit. But thank you, Ryan. Respect. Appreciate you as well. And Johnny Sack, no audio ace. Ginny ran to the base and crying. She's very upset. Give her a Twix bar or a Hostess, and she'll be back. But thank you all. Johnny Sack, appreciate you. Ryan and respect. And Andy, thank you very much. Appreciate all of you. Let me find my spot here. I'm trying to skip over all the fights. A lot of fighting in the a lot of fighting in the chat here. We're talking about Luke. Yeah, Luke with some great defensive plays tonight. Also, shout out to Siegenthaler. I forgot to jot it down. He slid towards the end of the game. I mean, the Panthers were pouring it on heavy with the empty net. Siegenthaler laid out, made a kind of a great save on the side of the net. Yeah, the Panthers were just buzzing hard, and the Devils found a way. They found a way. I lost my spot here. All you guys are fighting each other. What's going on, Ryan? The fight really flipped the script. It could have been the turning point. It did seem like, the boys got a little jacked up. It was, I would say, a fairly even fight. Oh, now you guys are flaming me for the mute button. That's fine. User error. Absolutely. I fat fingered it. Joseph, I was wrong about the trade for Cotter. He's such a good pickup. Vegas can't keep all his good players anyway. I mean, yeah, he's just been a breakout for this New Jersey Devils club. Amazing. John Woodson, can we afford to re-sign Kova? You have to. Luke doesn't deserve a big contract. Well, Luke is going to get a big contract. So just, brace yourself for that. The question is, how big is the contract? If I had to pick, I would say it lands somewhere between $7 and $8 million. I would love Kovacevic back. I wouldn't fault him if he chases the money, because this will be his first and maybe only, or at least his biggest, because of his age and kind of where he's in his career. It'd be the biggest payday for him. Hopefully he takes a little less to stay with the Devils. I would love him back. I think he really likes the guys here. He seems very happy. I've seen him, kind of behind the scenes with the guys before they hit the ice. He's all fired up in the middle of everything, doing different, handshakes and pounds, and just seems like a really good locker room guy. But we're going to see what the Devils could offer him and what he gets offered elsewhere. But it's going to be a decent chunk, I think, especially if his play continues the way it has been. Him and Siegenthaler are one of the best defensive pairs in the league. I mean, those guys don't come cheap, and he's a right-handed shot. That all equals money, money, money. Kovacevic going to get paid. Jersey Roots, Ayo, Ace, and all the other Dirty Devil barbarians. Victory! What's going on, Jersey Roots? Victory! I love seeing Luke using his speed defensively and playing responsible. It made me proud. He needs to keep this play up. Yeah, absolutely. I think the sky's the limit for Luke. I think Keefe's going to keep him on not a short leash per se, but he knows, what his job is and what's expected of him. And once in a while, we're going to see him come roaming all the way into the offensive zone behind the net, like we did against the Islanders. But hopefully he, hustles back like he did today. Zach, tilt of the year so far, definitely. I think it was. We haven't seen that many, but I think that's definitely probably the best one. Ride and respect. What a win. That 5-on-3 kill was really impressive. Set the tone regarding the effort shown tonight. Yeah, that was a really good one. Really big kill and a big moment. And they still had to kill about a minute or so of the, 5-on-4 afterwards. So we have props to the, penalty kill. They've been getting it done pretty good on the season. What a snipe by Cotter. Nicholas, yes, it was. Cotter is just, man, I can't say enough about that guy. I love Paul Cotter. He is a beast. heavier, edgier, more violent with the scoring ability. He was in people's grill all night long. I mean, behind the plays, I just kept, there was sometimes where I wouldn't even watch the puck and I'd watch Cotter, like, you know, wherever the camera was trailing. He was two-hand shoving guys, just like face palm smashing guys. He is just a nasty dude, and he needs to teach some of these other guys how to do it. I know it's hard because it's just not in some people, but you could tell, like, that's who Paul Cotter is. He doesn't have to think about it. It's like when he sees a guy, smash. He finishes every single hit, and you can't say that about a lot of the other guys in this team. Where you see guys pull up, kind of, do the little friendly glide, and just kind of, nah. Cotter is smashing dudes every single time. Oh, Nicholas, everyone liked the video. Thank you. Give your boy a like. Can I get a like, please? It takes 0.3 seconds of time, and it's free. Hit that thumbs up. Jersey Roots, like and subscribe, all you dirty animals. Thank you very much. True Patriot, holy shit, that's an impressive win. We needed to take one in Florida. Yeah. And now we're kind of playing with house money. I was hoping for the split in Florida and to beat Tampa. Obviously, if I'm being, psychotic and greedy, I always want to sweep every road trip, but, you got to have somewhat of realistic expectations. And my realistic expectation was to come home with 4 points. And we got 2 right now with 4 more available on the table. Thursday night is going to be an absolute war. I hope the boys are ready for it. And I hope Jacob Markstrom is back in net for the New Jersey Devils because he played great tonight and he deserves the start. Scanning here. We need a 4th line, basically rolling 3 lines. I think eventually Fitz is going to do it, but it's, it's not so easy just to make it happen. But I thought McDermott looked solid tonight. He didn't really stick out to me. He had, I think there was one play where he made like a kind of bad pass, but like nothing really happened as a result of it. And you saw the guys were, that was a physical game, a physical game. And that's why Curtis McDermott was brought here. Markey was solid tonight. He certainly was. Are you not entertained? I am certainly entertained. Cotter, 7 goals, 50 hits. What a sexy stat line there. What a sexy stat line. What's up, Garrett? Where are all the doomsdayers now? Or do the Panthers suck now too? Well, if you've been following John Woodson will tell you why this win is not good. Yeah, here we go. Devils got away with about 5 trips in the third period, but we'll take it. The Devils don't beat playoff teams. It's pretty funny, Zach, with the alternating caps. Yeah. Yeah, how about not only a playoff team, how about I raise you the Stanley Cup champions on a 7-game heater? How about that? Ending the streak on their home ice. Markstrom is better when he gets more pucks on him. Maybe. He just seems to, you could tell pretty early on if it's like he's seeing the puck well or if he's fighting it, and he seemed locked in early tonight, which is always a good sign to me. What a game execution. Absolutely. DJ. Dougie still scares me. He doesn't scare me. He's almost on the ice for every goal we score. Now, I know you're going to come back and say he's almost on the ice for every goal scored against us, which is partially true as well. But he just generates so much offense that, it sucks, but, it's kind of like you got to take the good with the bad. Hopefully he can improve on that. But you're talking about your boy Dougie, a +2 tonight. With 2 helpers. They're both secondaries too. But 13 assists on the season for Dougie Hamilton. There's something to be said for that. It's hard to ignore a guy that's on the ice constantly when we get goals. And he's getting assists for it too. Where are the Doomers at, Alex? It looks like the Doomers sent John Woodson into battle dolo tonight. He's out here all by himself. The rest of his cronies are hiding, but Woodson's out here representing the Doomers for sure. Cotter was laying bodies all night. He absolutely was laying bodies all night. And this guy, the epitome of heavier, edgier, more violent. Love me some Paul Cotter. I wish we could get one more guy like him. I put Nason in that category as well. Nason's an absolute dog. Love Nason. But one more of those guys at the trade deadline would be nice, SST is probably in hiding. To be fair, Cat's got away with the boarding and a few as well. Refs are, oh, that's terrible. That's a guy. Oh, it's terrible. The emoji game has gotten out of control, guys. True Patriot. They didn't even play like shit against SJ. Just no puck luck. Not enough second chance ops against Deadwood. Yeah, I would just say by virtue of not finishing, they didn't play good. But it's not like they played horribly. It was just they couldn't finish. And Blackwood came back to haunt us. Markstrom MVP. Rupish. Wait, what? Play like shit against SJ. 3.77 expected goals, 44 saves, shut up by Blackwood. You lose those sometimes, no big deal. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those nights where a goalie stole the game. A goalie stole the game from you. And unfortunately, there's not much you could do about it. Now, hopefully that doesn't happen again, because it has happened. It hasn't been as rare as I'd like it to be, because I would say that was the same case with the Calgary game. So, to get shut out a couple times inside of like, what was that, like a week or week and a half? That can't happen. But when this team is on, I mean, guys, tonight was a playoff game. This was a playoff game, the barometer of the season. How will this team respond coming off a painful loss at home against the defending champs in their barn on a 7-game heater? A team that doesn't take nights off, that they come out for blood every single night, and your New Jersey Devils weathered an early storm, took a lead, eventually relinquished the lead, and continued to persevere and came back and took the lead back once again, 2-1, added another one on late 3-1, and hit the empty net 4-1. Your New Jersey Devils surviving a playoff dogfight with the Panthers and Sunrise. I was fighting the Doomers that first period. Kobe 5 hits. Love to see that. You've been cauterized. The one time I don't start Markey in fantasy, HZ Neon. HZ Neon, what the hell is your little picture? That's pretty dope. I like art. It's like a really cool, I don't know, some kind of illustration. It looks like a skyline or something with the sun. Pretty cool. Walt, I'm expecting Allen to start Thursday, but I really think they should start Markey without any issue. It's not a back-to-back situation, so he'll be rested. But the question is, do you start Allen on Saturday? No, Walt. No. If it was up to me, I'd pretty much only start Allen in back-to-backs. I 100% start Markstrom Thursday in Florida. And if he plays well, guess what? I know it's going to be hard for some of you to believe. I start him on Saturday in Tampa. We have a huge freaking break. We have 4 days off after this. There's no reason to just force Allen starts. If Markstrom doesn't play well, then fine. But if Markstrom's your guy, I don't want to see the bullshit games. I'm not interested. If Markey comes out, if Allen comes out and then on Thursday, I'm going to be pissed. But I'm expecting it. I fully am expecting it. There's no reason why, with a day's rest off tomorrow, why Markstrom couldn't start Thursday. And assuming he plays well, guess what? There's another day off on Friday. I start him again on Saturday against the Bolts. And then the team has 4 full days off and doesn't play till the 21st against Carolina. There's absolutely no reason. Allen may be on a revenge vibe going into Saturday, so he may step up. Yeah, but you know what? If I'm being honest, I'm not looking to avenge or settle scores for Jake Allen. I'm looking to get freaking W's. And I think Markstrom, when he plays like tonight, this is against, in my opinion, the best team in the league, and they won the cup, right? So the defending cup champs. I've loved their style of play since they obtained Tkachuk. They've been a very good team since that day, and you saw what we were capable of doing. And when Markey's on, sky is the limit. Jesse, destroy that like button. Thank you, guys. And by destroy that like button, I mean just press it. Just press it one time. Thumbs up. Vince, Markey was solid, but his glove side concerns me a bit. A lot of posts hit by Florida. I mean, listen, that's going to happen sometimes. Sometimes the post is going to be your friend. Tonight was one of those nights. They didn't show a bunch of them on replay, so I'm curious. Like, there was a couple that were like outside of the net that like the post kind of made a noise. I also think for these ESPN games that they have like crazy sensitive mics everywhere because everything sounds like some insane, happening. Like certain shots sound like shotgun blasts. But they definitely got a couple posts tonight. We didn't take their hearts. They were outshot 35-24 and hit 5 posts. Well, they lost 4-1 and their heater's over. So I'm going to call that taking their hearts tonight, John. I need a Cotter jersey. I think there's going to be a lot of them eventually in the stands. I've been meaning to look at the Rock in the team store if they are stocking them now, or if you have to like custom order it, but they'd be wise to stock them. Looks like Max. Looks like he finally told Luke he's a defenseman. Jesus, he was breaking up plays left and right today. Yeah, a lot of times I was like, damn, what a little hustle play by Luke in the defensive end. You'd love to see it. And I think as he, he's still a very young pup in this league. As time goes on, I think he's going to really be something special. No way Markey's playing Thursday. I wouldn't say no way, but if I had to guess, I believe that they are going to start Allen, and I think it's foolish. True Patriot, I hate that we lost to San Jose. Hate giving up those 2 points and at home again. Yeah, it sucks. But again, everyone counted this as a loss. Most people were like, oh, they can't hang with the Panthers. And so I would say that that's, everyone expected a win last game and a loss tonight. Well, they just reversed it. So they do need to be better at home. What a snipe by Cotter. Glad he's scoring again. He'll score in waves, and he's bringing the body every night. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Paul Cotter just slamming people for fun. Need more physicality. Missing Lazar and Bastion. Yeah. I'm not missing Bastion too much, but Fitzy's going to have to reinvent the fourth line. Remember, Gritzuk will be coming over after his season ends too. I've been meaning to verify that. The KHL is a very shady situation to me, and I always don't believe the guys are going to show up until they're here. We need to fix the fourth line. I agree with that. Need about 2 more physical forwards when we have a chance. Maybe one. One might do the trick. Cotter finishing checks, and nobody was around him but red jerseys. Markey played well, but they rang 4 or 5 posts. We had a little post luck. He still played well, but he had to settle in. Just saying he didn't look comfortable at first. He was also under serious duress. For pockets of the game. True Patriot, I am selling the shirts. I'll drop the link one more time. There's not many left. Limited edition run. The very first Running with the Devils merch drop. Maybe the last, maybe not, but heavier, edgier, more violent. The limited edition t-shirt link. I just posted it again. There's not many left. Once they're gone, they're gone. This is supposed to say Haminaho. I think Haminaho is going to be a good player as well. For sure. I liked him. I saw him at rookie camp at the Rock a couple summers ago, and I thought he looked really good then, and I'm sure he's only gotten better since then. Christopher Bellucci, any suggestions on what I should get for Christmas? What you should get for Christmas in terms of what? What you should ask for yourself? What you should buy someone else? I need more information, Christopher, but I'm curious. Mark, we need a real fourth line. I agree. BM, filthy pass from Bratt. Most underrated winger in the league. He is so dynamic with the puck on his stick. I would say he's definitely amongst one of the most underrated players in the league. I'm sure there's a lot of casual hockey fans that don't really know who he is, and I would say he's a top. I know they did that list and he got put far down, but he's definitely a top. How is he not a top 20-ish winger in the league? He has to be. Love Jesper Bratt, and that pass was insane. Nicholas, you think Cats stick with Knight or turn to Bob for Thursday? I'd imagine. I don't know what I haven't followed their kind of goaltending pattern schedule too closely, but I'd imagine Bobrovsky will be in the net Thursday. Yeah, everyone else is saying Bob. Brad is throwing the body around this year, which is wild. Yeah, there was a couple that were they weren't even sometimes you see hits where they're doing it for the sake of doing it. There was a couple that he had some he put some aggression into it. I was like, all right, Brad, are just smashing dudes. We easily have 30-plus hits with our heavy guys in. Give Jack whatever Bratter is eating. Good luck with that. Johnny Sack tells Woodson to go home and get his shine box. Jack could use it, but he's been better. I like Evan. I like the defense's team is playing a lot more hits and takeaways. Ace, appreciate the link you sent me. I didn't realize Hulu had the game too. I thought you needed ESPN Plus. Oh, I'm going to go off on a tangent about that for a minute. Is the audio seriously not working? Why is this happening? Can you guys hear me? Huh? All right. Oh, this chat. Yeah, this thing just went crazy. Now I'm scrolling to the bottom. You guys can hear me, right? All right, cool. Shout out to Luke for all those good back-checking plays. Completely different player from last season. Yeah, I think Keefe is going to force him to do and not do things that he doesn't. Well, force him to do things that he might not want to do and tell him he can't do certain things he may want to do. A more defensively responsible Luke Hughes. And as he ages in the league, I think he is going to be a special player. You're seeing flashes of it. I'd like to see some of that offensive ability that we saw from him last year, but if it comes at the cost of defense, I don't care to see it. I would like to see a nice balance of offensive contribution with solid defensive play, and he definitely made some sick plays tonight. Great game overall. Great game overall. Dire Wolf, what a game from the boys. Absolutely. That Bratter pass will be top 10 on ESPN. I could watch that a million times and never get bored of it. Is it going to be a top 10 on ESPN? I honestly haven't watched like SportsCenter in years. But you think that was nice enough? I'm curious. I got to keep an eye on that. I'm curious to know if Bratt actually gets the props he should on such a sweet play. Because to me, that is worthy of being on the top 10, in my opinion. Would love to see that it is. Louis, Devils win. Oh, yeah. Maria D, what do you say, Ace? Let's go. Let's go, Maria. What a W. Nicholas, Timo is game winner. Just noticed that now. Timo is a beast, guys. Timo is a beast. I love that man. Came up big tonight with that beautiful shot. Didn't try to get too fancy. He's like, I'm just going to blow this, pick my spot and just blow it by him, and he did. Jeremiah King, that Cotter goal didn't look good until that replay. It happened so quick, I thought it hit the post. I looked up, and I'm like, did that go in? And then I saw the celebration. I was like, holy shit, that went in. It was great shot by Cotter. Brandon Thomas, that fight has to be the best fight I've seen in a long time. That'll be hard to beat. It won't be that hard to beat. In terms of like I guess it depends what you're looking for. It did have a lot of activity. It was Rock'em Sock'em robots, but there was no like bombs, like huge punches landed, and no one went down like a knocked down. But I think it was one of the better ones. Oh yeah, so that fight was full of Rock'em Sock'em robots. Yeah, one of the better fights of the year for the Devils for sure. BM, lose the Sharks 1-0, beat the defending Cup champs who have been on a tear. What the? Yeah, it happens, guys. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you don't have it, and sometimes you do. But I do believe this team is capable of beating anybody on any given night. I do believe as the season goes on, they are going to get better. And they're going to get more accustomed to having to win these playoff-type wars. And tonight was definitely one of them. And the score doesn't really indicate the game accurately, in my opinion, because if you didn't watch the game and you just saw the 4-1 score, you'd be like, oh, the Devils killed them. But it was a close game the whole way, and it was the Devils surviving for large portions of it. So I don't think the score is necessarily a fair indicator. But in the end, the Devils did what they had to do to get this huge win. Salvatore, Cotter has 7 goals and Holtz has 1. Yeah. It's looking like a massive W for the Devils. On the trade front, Cotter for Holtz was like a steal, and Fitz should be locked up on charges for robbing them. I think that there might be an investigation into Fitz for real. Grand larceny. At BM, I think you forgot the Devils played at home against the Sharks. It's true. The arena makes a big difference. Maybe they should I don't know. Maybe they should make the Devils not use the Devils locker room in the arena, and they should just make them use some bullshit storage area of the arena as their locker room for a game. So it's just a different setting. I don't know. It's very weird. John Woodson, Luke at 7-8 million would be a crime. Without Pesci, he'd be in the minors. I don't think he'd be in the minors, but brace yourself, John Woodson. He's going to get $7 to $8 million. Believe that. Believe that. Luke's getting paid $7 to $8 million easily. True Patriot Holtz has 7 points in his last 9 games. It was a win-win. Well, Michael, I still think it's very early. If I had to bet money on it, I'm saying long term the trade looks even better for the Devils, but we'll see. I'm not too concerned what Holtz does. I wish him the best when they're not playing the Devils, but at the end, he's not doing the things Cotter's doing. Cotter is a multi-faceted, just hockey player. James, while you're muted, you talked about adding Chico back to the broadcast. Interested what you said. Chico. Oh, I was saying I love Chico stories, and I don't even know why does it have to be like a set limit. They could have these guys stationed wherever and just randomly go to them during the game. I wish we saw Chico and Dano. Do some random segments. I don't know, figure it out. But there's plenty of time for them all to get some time. I always enjoy talking to Chico. I usually run into him at least a few times a season and talk to him for a couple minutes here and there. And his stories are great. He's a great personality of the sport and a historian. He's been around the game for 50 plus years, a wealth of knowledge, and he tells great stories, and he's always an interesting guy to talk to for sure. John Woodson, Chico is fun, but Doc was the GOAT. Well, Doc is, there's only one Doc, guys. Doc is a different animal. For those of you that weren't lucky enough to be around during Mike Doc Emrick, there's tons of historic games you could watch where Doc was the play-by-play guy, both in Devils history as well as, the sport at large. He did a lot of the Olympics. He's done, cup finals for a while. Pretty much any big game in hockey for probably, he's probably been retired for at least a few years now. But for years, Doc was the voice of hockey. In my opinion, definitely the greatest hockey broadcaster of all time. And, I would make an argument that he's among the greatest broadcasters of all time across all sports. He's that good. There's so many crazy videos, but if you're not familiar with who Doc is, do some research. Mike Doc Emrick, one of the greatest guys in hockey history, in my opinion. DJ, I saw Bratt lay a nice hit behind the net on the forecheck. Yeah, that was the one where I think the aggression really came out. He just smashed somebody, and I was like, whoa. I was like, Bratter, what has gotten into you? And again, whatever it was, give it to everyone else on the team not named Cotter, Nason, Dylan, and Kovacevic, because they all need it as well. James Cooper, I love Chico. Honestly, I listen to the radio often because he's hilarious. Yeah, I do miss Chico. I normally listen to the radio thing. I stream it in my car when I go to the games. But I do wish he was back on TV. The radio is and it's not even real radio, right? Like, that's kind of weird, too. It's like I'm streaming it. I remember back in the day when it was on 770 WABC on the AM radio, and I feel like the Devils haven't been on actual old school radio for years. I don't know if that's just the Devils or every team, but I feel like most teams are still on a terrestrial, traditional radio. Holtz can shoot as a terrible skater who can't defend and isn't physical at all. Yeah, he's kind of a one-trick pony in that regard. He certainly doesn't have the physical game Cotter has brought. No, absolutely not. And we needed that more than anything. If Luke signs an 8-year deal, I think Jack finishes his career as a Devil. So I talked about this on a live release recently, Aaron. I do think both the years and the amount of money will tell us that Luke signs will tell us a lot about, I think, the future with Jack going forward. Because if Luke looks for max money, I think that, and for a shorter period, maybe that, I don't know. But if he signs super long-term, you'd believe that him and Jack both want to be here long-term. And then there's always the looming question of, does Quinn Hughes want to come here? And if Quinn Hughes wants to come here, someone's going to have to leave, as Fitzy calls it, meat on the bone. Because if everyone wants max money, we're already going to be looking at, probably at best case scenario, having $26 million tied up between the three of them. So the Luke restricted free agency, I think, will tell us a lot, in my opinion. Brandon, at this point, I think Fitz has learned a lot by the Plot and Dougie contract. Fitz is going to be nervous about handing out high-paying contracts. I don't think so. I think he's going to be nervous about handing out high contracts to older guys, but I think the Hughes brothers are going to be a kind of exception to the rule. And he paid Nico good money. He paid Bratter good money. And he paid Timo good money. So I don't think he's nervous about giving out the contracts. I mean, if you really think about it, The only one that was a miss really is Palat. And again, that could all be erased with a couple game-winning goals in a playoff run that results in a cup. And then everyone would be like, that Andre Palat was the best $6 million we ever spent. Bridge deal, Luke, like Mercer, he hasn't shown enough. I feel like even a bridge deal would be, I don't know. I feel like he's going to want his money now, but we'll find out. It's not that they're bad, the fourth line, but you got Jack and Nico playing almost 25 minutes a night. Let's see, where did they actually come in? Nico came in at 17:59. Jack was 19:08. Got to play Markey on Thursday because he'll be going against Vasilevsky. Again, I want Markey more than anything, but I'm just the guy. I'm just the guy with a YouTube channel. What do I know? So I believe we'll see Allen, but I wish we weren't. Salvatore, Florida's strategy was the screen Markstrom all night need to be heavier in front of the net against them next. Yeah, I thought they could have done a better job of clearing them out, but they just don't stop, right? It's like they're so dedicated to it, and that's what makes them a very good team. The fundamental principles by which they play, they don't deviate, and they keep doing it. So, you might see a guy clear them out once or twice, but when they're doing it all game long, it becomes a nuisance, and it's a credit to them. That's why they are such a damn good team, is because they have a game plan. They have their system, and they stick to it and don't deviate. Glad we don't play Winnipeg until March. Sheesh, they are raking. Yeah, they beat the Rangers tonight. They're 15-1. It's insane. It's completely insane. Wow. 15-1. Johnny Sack, 6-1-1 in the McDermott era. Tell that to those pencil neck geeks in the front office. Well, listen, I'll tell them. I'm sure they know. I'm sure some have pointed it out. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when, whoever was advocating for McDermott to be signed this summer and who was advocating that we didn't need him. I really would have loved to see it, because the old school hockey guys were like, we need this guy. And the math nerds were like, he's a waste of company funds. We could spend that money better elsewhere. 4 past Florida and 5 past Igor. It's a great night to be a Devils fan. Really nice. Lance, Fitzy needs to get another dog for that fourth line. Yeah, I would love to see. Someone mentioned that there was, I don't know if it was a rumor or they read an article that Trent Frederick from Boston was like a rumor. I think he would be a great fourth line center for us. He plays a heavy game. He's a big boy. But I'm sure there's some other guys out there that could be had. I think it's just a matter of when Fitz is going to know the real fate of Lazar, but I think he should kind of operate going forward as if he's gone for the season. It is what it is. You can understand why the Panthers won the Cup. Imagine playing this team for 7 games. Yeah, it's absolutely grueling. Completely grueling. Oh, true, Troy Machine. Bennett wasn't playing, so they didn't beat a good team. 1VL on Evil. This one gives me trouble every time. Absolute beast mode tonight. It was beast mode indeed. The big boys have shown nothing but contributing in all facets of the game. Yes, sir. Heavier, edgier, more violent. And in my preview video for this trip that came out this morning, the guys I said I was looking at the most, in no particular order, were Jack, Nico, Markstrom, and Dougie. Jack delivered for me. Markstrom delivered for me. I'm going to say, let's see, what were Nico's final? I wish they showed the amount of faceoffs. It just says 56%, but he had the assist, the +1. Yeah, pretty much everyone came through. The guys that I had on my the guys I'm counting on to deliver list, all pretty much did. Dougie with 2 assists. Great game. They got to come back and follow it up now with another strong one. Richard, yes, could you have answered the Jeopardy question, or would I have thrown you for a loop? I obviously would have answered the trivia question, and then I would have immediately interrupted and been like, I'm sorry. I just, as a side note, have to tell you, so it comes out of your Rolodex in case these questions ever get answered again, that the great Martin Brodeur was certainly never called Satan's wallpaper. And shame on you for that, getting through the checks and balances of how a question gets on the show, because that was ridiculous. Grant, played great, but it could have been different if we're not bailed out by a few posts. Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. We would have won the Sharks game if the puck didn't bounce in off Timo's skate and go in. That's how this game works, Grant. I'll take this dub, and I will rejoice. Traveling Devil, Nason wanted to kill Reinhardt. If Markstrom plays Thursday, he won't play for a week till Carolina. I would play him Thursday, and if he plays good, I would play him Saturday again, because I'm silly like that. So silly. The Insane Pollock. The game we had against them last year was similar to this one. The only difference was we had a huge lead last year, and that was with Lindy. I want to beat Carolina. They play that heavy forecheck, but without the physicality. Carolina, I've hated them for years and years, going back to when they knocked the Devils out of the playoffs in 2002. Then they knocked them out again in 2009 in stunning fashion in Game 7 at the Rock, scoring 2 goals to erase the Devils' 1-goal lead and take their own lead in like the final minute of the game, where I was stunned as a young man in the stands of Prudential Center. I've hated them forever. They've been a constant thorn in our side, and I would love to get retribution on them at home. But again, it's a home game. This team has really struggled at the Rock, so I'm a bit nervous, if I'm being honest. Zach, Ace, I used to be like, hey, the new tandem goalie thing is here to stay, and we should just accept it. But you have changed my mind. Put Markey in the net. I do believe it's here to stay. It's going to take a special coach or GM or both with true balls that tell the analytics team to shut the hell up and be like, I don't care about your numbers. This guy is playing the game, and I'll see you next time. I don't think that's going to happen here. I wish it would, but they're committed to these analytics guys. And listen, I believe analytics are useful in certain situations and settings. I believe they can be helpful, but I don't think they tell a whole story. And I think when it comes to goaltending in a situation like this, I'm pretty sure that if you ask Markstrom right after the game, or if you ask him tomorrow, or if you ask him Thursday morning, if you ask him at any point, does he want to play the next game and does he feel good enough to play the next game, I'm absolutely positive he is giving you an astounding yes every single time you ask him. And that is good enough for me. If this is truly your guy, I would go all out in the Markstrom business. But that's not how they really do it these days. Unfortunately, it's really sad. Lucifer Quack 42. Who you put on the fourth line with Lazar and Mac D when Lazar is healthy? It's going to be Tatar, but I also don't think McDermott. I guess it depends what you're talking about, right? I just don't think, and it's unfortunate, I don't think McDermott's going to play that much in the playoffs. So and if that's the case, you might as well start figuring it out sooner than later. I do believe that the Devils organization should give both Brian Hallinan and Nolan Foote a look at some point as potential fourth liners. And I'm also not sure that Lazar is ever going to come back this year. He might, but I just think that Fitz should kind of maneuver as if he's gone for the season, because that's always a possibility. Antonino, Ace, analytics team is going to start Allen the next game. Oh, I firmly believe that, and I expect that Allen is starting the next game. At this point, I don't mind them playing Allen. He's been playing good lately, just not against good teams. No, I think Allen's good, but if Markstrom's going to be your guy, let him get into the rhythm. BM, does Ace underestimate how big of a toll 60 minutes of hockey is on the modern goaltenders? This is what I'm going to tell you, BM. If they asked Markstrom, does he feel good to play and does he want to play the next game, what do you believe he would say? That's my first question to you. So if you ask Markstrom, are you okay? And do you want to play the next game? What do you believe he says? True Patriot. I am excited for my heavier, edgier, more violent tea. Oh, man, you're going to love it. It'll go out tomorrow. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Tonight was the first real big test of it. Jay Snow, I'm with you. I don't know if Lazar comes back. I hope he does, but I think, again, Fitzgerald has to pretend like he's not and figure out how to plug that hole. Jay Snow, if he does, it won't be until late in the season. It's a bummer. Total bummer. Alex, ESPN, hockey on ESPN sucks. TNT and MSG are way better. I'm not a huge fan of ESPN. I definitely like TNT's crew better for sure. DJ, I really like the audio from ESPN. It's crisp. Well, I think they have those friggin' boards and glass mic'd up crazy because every shot it sounds like you're. And I had the sound bar and the volume. I think some of those shots it sounded like whoa. Rich Reynolds, who else saw Cotter playing DJ on a stick in the hallway before the game? Classic clip. Great clip. True Patriot needs to play better at home, bottom line. Absolutely. JS, I'll be gone when you read this, but Panthers won the Cup. Devils beat the Panthers. Devils are better than the Cup champs. In short, NJ already won the Cup in November. Night, everyone. Good night, JS. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Devils are the new Cup champs. ESPN worst broadcast by far. Mark Vasilevsky on Thursday. Got to play Markey. I'm totally going with Markey. Jay Snow. Hamanaho was wearing that gold helmet. The leading scorer in the league gets to wear it. Oh, shit. He was the leading scorer? I've seen the gold helmet thing before. It's pretty funny. To me, it's almost like a target on yourself. I'd be like, can I not wear the gold helmet? Like, what do I have to do to not wear the gold helmet? I don't think I would want all that attention because that's definitely like a bullseye. Come get me. John Butchie Gross does good. What do you mean? I definitely like Butchie. ESPN broadcast does a lot of oohs and ahs during the game. Bratt reminds me of Breland in terms of being underappreciated league-wide, but we fans know exactly how good they are. Yeah, I see what you're saying there, Walt, and I agree. But I think for the level of the player, you know, Breland was like a depth guy that only like maybe like super hardcore fans of other teams would know, versus Bratt really is like a star player that people should know. Will DJ, I also noticed the audio to everything seemed really loud. Yeah, the super echoey mics everywhere. Every shot seemed like whoa. Luke might be one of the fastest players in the league, but it'd be nice to get some offense from the back end. Well, we got a ton of it early on. It seems to have slowed down a bit. Hopefully Dougie can get it going again. And then hopefully we could get random contributions from, the rest of the guys. Siegenthaler had his first a couple games back. They'll come. But Dougie's been an assist machine so far. James, Timo has such a nice shot when he has space. Yeah, he really does. The guy's a bull. He has a laser shot, and he showed it tonight. He decided not to come all the way in and get too fancy and just blew it by him. Just picked the spot and was like, I'll just score now. Thanks. Rich, that was a beautiful playoff-style hockey win. Absolutely. That was a war from start to finish. Love to see it. David, you have to dig deep to complain about anything, but I have one. Dylan takes a few too many penalties. Last in league in penalty minute differential. Took a dumb one tonight, but who cares? Great game. Yeah. Listen, David, PIMs are all part of the heavier, edgier, more violent lifestyle, baby. Heavier, edgier, more violent for life. You got to deal with the penalty minutes from Dylan. It is what it is. He gave us a spirited bout tonight where the boys were just chucking bombs, just uppercuts. After the Dylan fight, the Devils really seemed to limit grade A chances. Not a lot of love for Brett Pesce. He makes a lot of good defensive plays, and he's rubbing off on Luke. No, definitely. Pesce's definitely, if not the best defensive defenseman, one of the best on the team, and he's just Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collected. He had a bunch of them tonight as well. Ace, the Devils' most weakness I can see right now is the horrible ability to score on breakaways, lack of finish. If Keefe can fix that, what do you think it will help the team's ability to score on team play? I'm not worried about this team scoring goals on most nights. The skill is there. We just have too many guys that could score, and I don't know how Keefe is going to fix that. Like, if you get breakaways constantly and you can't bury them, that's on you at some point. I mean, what is Keefe going to tell you? Like, shoot better? I think eventually we'll see Mercer start burying some. He had a bunch of chances tonight. Jack finished his breakaway chance. It's just it's a numbers game. They're not going to finish them all, but hopefully with some of the, the cross ice one-time open netters, like what Palat had, just hopefully they could kind of hone in on the little details and tighten that up a little bit, because that would have been a huge goal at the time. The Devils were only up 1, and the Panthers were kind of pressing. And that was a squandered opportunity. And again, I don't think I'm alone here. I think a lot of people want to see a top 6 winger brought in for Jack at some point. Doug, where are the Doomsdayers? Kind of a needed win considering Bobrovsky didn't start net. If they can manage at least 1 point in this next game, I'll be super happy. 1 point in the next game would be pretty big. 3 of 4 versus the Panthers. I was hoping for 4 on the trip, but that would definitely make it a little bit easier. Chico, I'm late, but whoa, a big win. Not a bad game at all. Markey was definitely the most important Devil tonight, but if you peek under the hood of the Panthers, 34 shots, only 14 were high danger. I mean, that's 14. You say it like that's a pretty big number. Jersey roots, we'd never forget about the Maven. Stan Fischler. He's been in the game for like 70, 80 years. Another OG legend of the sport. Stan Fischler, wow. Will, I'm a lifelong Devils fan, but only really got into hockey this summer. My friend asked me back in August who my favorite players, and I jokingly said Paul Cotter. He's now maybe my favorite Devil. I think you're not alone, Will. He's a lot of people's favorite Devil right now, and for good reason. The man does everything. He's an absolute beast. Smashes people, can skate, can score, does a little bit of everything. Paul Cotter is a throwback hockey player. Chico, 5 versus 5. The Panthers only had 11 high danger chances. D did well. O capitalized well, but Markey was the key to the win. It's like I said, some nights they'll bail him out, some nights he'll bail them out. Yeah, for sure. And tonight, Markey and the team played good enough to win. And you love to see it. Markstrom was a beast. 34 saves on 35 shots. Hey, Siegenthaler has really stepped it up the last few games as well. I was really impressed with his defensive game as of late. And on that note, Luke as well. I agree. Siegenthaler has been good all season. Now, him and Kovacevic are one of the best D pairs in the league, which is crazy to think about. A guy that most of us wanted traded after last season with a guy we got for a 4th-round pick. And now they're one of the best D pairs in the league. Crazy. Code Bro. Yo, I just got back from the game. I'm super jealous, Code Bro. I'm assuming you live in Florida, and I'm assuming you had a great night. I'm very jealous. It was electric. Felt like we were on our heels, but we stayed with it. That's how you win a hockey game. Oh, we were on our heels, Code Bro. We were in survival mode for big stretches of that game. Markey held it down. The boys bent but didn't break. And your New Jersey Devils end a 7-game Panthers heater in their own barn on their home ice. The defending Cup champs will have to regroup and look to start a new winning streak on Thursday, and hopefully it's just another win for your New Jersey Devils. Select a boy. What's up, Devils folks? What's going on? Mac D, this is another night. Regarding Mac D, this is another night where numbers hated him. Last 2 have been kind of rough for him, but they won tonight, so fuck it, let it ride. It's like I've been saying, sometimes hockey is voodoo. Listen, I'm not worried about it. Another win with Big Mac in the lineup. Dougie and Palat for Quinn Hughes. You want the cup, Aaron. That's a crazy trade proposal that the Canucks would laugh at you for. Will Gorman, bro, actually only reads Super Chat. Will, are you an idiot? I've read like 700 comments here. I actually, what the people did was the program I'm in, not that I have to explain this to an idiot like you, but in the thing, there's a column that has starred, which it automatically puts a Super Chats there. Sometimes I get off on tangents and don't even see that. So I didn't even see the Super Chats right away. But with that being said, I've been sitting here for an hour and 17 minutes, and there was 3 Super Chats. So all the comments I'm reading are not Super Chats. So I don't know what you're talking about, and I think you're a moron. But all right. DJ, yeah, Panthers really turned it on after the first. Devils scored when they needed and held on. Matt, if we could only play like this at home, best game of the season so far, in my opinion. Definitely the best game of the season. We knocked off the defending Cup champs on a 7-game heater in their building. I mean, wow. And we were battle tested. It's not like we got a few lucky bounces and won the game. Like we really hung in there and went blow for blow with the champs. The commentators were talking about how great of a game it was and talking about how this was like, heavyweights of the East showdown. Chico, it's impossible for us to know, but if MacD is on the bench, keeping the guys focused and fired up, then he's worth the roster spot, in my opinion. I just want to see more wins, and I want to be right. Yeah. For whatever reason, they win with him in the lineup. Florida plays that man-to-man style, but it has its breakdowns. The Devils caught him a couple times tonight, for sure. McDermott had a bad game straight up. To be honest, unless he's being physical and getting into a fight, he's a liability. There was one play where he straight up got dusted, and it almost ended up in our net. Yeah, he's not, I don't know what play you're talking about there. But on the TV, at least from what I could see, he had a couple plays where he tried to get it out and kind of failed, and nothing came of it. But it is what it is. I understand his type of player is not for everybody, but I think he should play in a good amount of games. I'm not saying he needs to play in every game, but I would like to see him in more games than not, because teams have taken liberties with the Devils a ton in the past couple of years, and you need a guy like him around. Jersey Roots, he reads everything, Gorman. Thank you, Jersey Roots. Just got home from the game. Was a great night. Go Devs. Definitely outplayed for good portions live, but always good 2 points. Okay, my bad, Roots. The late great Alex Trebek would have never let such a blatant error go through. No, unfortunately, it probably would have happened with Alex Trebek there, but he probably would have fired whoever was responsible for letting it through. There's no way that he could have personally vetted all of the clues or whatever himself, but he would make sure that he has an A team, that the people he has on his staff are not getting that wrong. It's great that the Devils got on to Jeopardy, but it's terrible that it was with a completely bullshit nickname for Marty. It's kind of crazy. I like that, Brian. Opposed is a shot that missed the net. It's true. It wasn't on goal. The tandem, I completely disagree. Allen is playing well outside of a single stinker, and in my opinion, it's worth keeping Markey fresh for the playoffs. Lower the chance for injury, too. The goalie tandem is good enough. Allen is one of the best backups in the league. I'm a pencil neck geek guy. I disagree on rotation management, but agree on McDermott value. Still prefer, I'm assuming it means McDermott. Still prefer Bastian most nights. McD only games with rough stuff. Well, David, the problem is the games that he's not in, rough stuff happens and he's not there. It's like, how can you predict with certainty what games are going to have quote unquote rough stuff? Did you predict that Lombard was going to freaking break Bastian's jaw with 27 straight punches to his face? I don't think anyone saw that coming, but here we are. McDermott not in the game, and Bastian gets his face smashed in. I think once we get into March and April, though, you should be playing the starter more to get him on a roll for a run. You guys are trying to play like a long game here with the goalies. I agree with John Woodson, sadly. Markstrom is old. Let's keep him fresh for the playoffs. I disagree with all this. We brought it to the Panthers tonight, and that is the definition of heavier, edgier, more violent. If they treat every team like a true test and punch them in the freaking face, they can be contenders. The thing is, I would say tonight that they are definitely heavier, edgier, more violent than they've been in previous seasons. But it was only in response to the Panthers play. Like, I want the Devils to come out and set that tone. It's obviously going to be hard to do it against the Panthers, but against other teams, if you come out and play, like, I basically want the Devils on a nightly basis to do what the Panthers did to us tonight. Come out, set the tone, set the pace, and make it hard. And that's what the Panthers did to us tonight. Luckily, the Devils survived it. Jack got that beautiful goal on the pass from Bratter, and we fought through the game, but they came out and took it to us right away. The Devils need to take a cue and do the same, and they rarely ever do. It's always them responding to something else. Antonino agreed, got to let Markey get more reps in. Well, a lot of these people think these guys are made out of glass now, and you got to save them for the playoffs, even though that was never a thing for years and years. But then the math team came up with it, and now people, they gotta conserve their bodies. Brian, I want a goalie who says that, but you don't play him. I can respect that. You want the guy that wants to play, but you're like, chill, you're still not gonna play. Okay. But then on the flip side, I would say, if Markstrom believed it was going to hurt his team, do you think he would still say that? I'm going to say I don't think he would. Josh, plus of Allen hits a certain amount of games, we give a second round instead of a third round pick. I'm pretty sure that the number's like stupid high, like 40 or something. That barring injury, I can't see him hitting regardless. Need Gary Thorne and Bill Clement. Gary's voice is fire. Yeah, that's the old school ESPN duo. When are the heavier, edgier, more violent thongs coming out? So hot. That would be never. That would be never. SST. Oh, here we go. SST in the building. The Devils will finish the season on 119 points and win the cup. I would love to see that be true. Paul Cotter as a rave DJ after the win. Wouldn't that be something? If Markstrom says he wants the net, but does management... Markstrom says he wants the net, but does management and coaches need to save players from themselves and their urge to compete? I would have to say in this scenario, I can't see a guy needing to be quote unquote saved from himself for trying to play back-to-back games with a day between for rest. I also want Marky in net basically every game, but don't want him to be worn down come April. I'm not saying every game, but let's just get a cushion here. Let's go on a run. His flow keeps getting interrupted, and all this shit matters. Bob Wischusen is the best ESPN play-by-play caller by far. It's not even close. They will probably play Allen Thursday, but at least he's a solid backup. Does the Henrique jersey go back to Sunrise for game 2? Traveling Devil, it absolutely goes back. You wear the same freaking underwear you wore tonight, my man. You listen to the same radio station in the car. You wear the same shirt under the jersey. You don't change a damn thing. The shoes got to be the same. Whatever you ate at the arena, you got to eat that. Whatever you had for lunch before you went to leave to the arena, you eat the same lunch. You do not deviate an ounce, Traveling Devil. You relive that exact day on Thursday, and hopefully we get another win. Brian, Dylan is so needed. I love Dylan. He is a complete throwback player. Kevin Weeks was pumping him up on ESPN after the game, just talking about how Dylan's basically a legend. Just like the similar stuff I say, because Kevin Weeks is an old school guy too. Dylan fight definitely turned the momentum. Natural Canopy, Ace, the beer league game just ended. I gave them a loss of choice. Let's go Devils. Luke, I wish Keefe would give Tatar a look with Jack. Plot be better served in the fourth with limited time. These are all like patchwork plugs. I want a real legitimate top 6 scoring winger for Jack. Like that needs to happen. I don't want to try to just keep forcing something there, even though it seems like it's going to happen. I would like a legitimate finishing winger. Like that would be ideal, really. That is what this team needs, in my opinion. Number one. And then again, if Lazar's out for a long time, we need a fourth line center, but scoring winger for Jack would be amazing. Doug, what a freaking shot by Carter. Rocket of a shot and great no look from Nico. I love the diversity of our top 9. I would love to see another winger added to the top 6, but we could beat teams in a lot of ways. I'd like Tatar. He's wasted on the fourth line. What line do you want him to play on, Jace, now? At Natural, you have the makings of a varsity athlete. 14 high danger chances. It sounds like a lot, but you have to consider this is a much more offensively focused and higher scoring era. For example, 905 is the average save percentage, and 15-16 it was 915. Yeah. Markstrom plays good against former teams. Thank God he has been on so many. If the Devils happen to get themselves into a shootout, I have no idea how it even send out there. All of our players just try to snipe a goal on a breakaway. Oh, this is a great one. Yeah, because we haven't seen one. Jack honestly sucks on breakaways. So for this year, if I had to pick breakaway players in no particular order, my breakaway players, let's see, my top 3. Let me think about this now. This is a really good one. My top 3 in no particular order for the shootout would be I'm going Yes, the 3 is hard. I would go, again, this is no particular order, but just my first 3 would be Bratter, Nico, and Cotter. Bratter, Nico, and Cotter would be my first 3. And then my 4th would probably be Timo. And my 5th would probably be Jack. Jack he's just struggled in the shootout his whole career. Nico has been a complete sniper this year, so I'm definitely putting Nico first. Bratter just has a bunch of different ways to score, so I'd always put him in there. And Cotter's got some filthy mitts too, and I've liked what he's brought all year, so he's definitely in my first 3. But I'd be curious what other people say. Who would your first 3 shooters be in a shootout? It is kind of, I guess not, but almost a quarter of the way through the season, we haven't had one yet. Siegs has been great this year. I wanted him gone. I think that that's a lot of us. Oh, Jace, no, thank you. I was so excited in the beginning of it. I meant to say congratulations to Jack. That goal was his 300th point on that beautiful goal. Yeah, you apologize, Will, you little bitch. Yeah, you're bad, LMAO. Yeah, bro, you read all my chats. My bad. I'm an idiot. I forgive you, Will. But, I mean, how did you not know, Will? I was reading hundreds of comments. There was 3 super chats. This guy tries to roast me. But I hope we're friends again, Will. But that was really crazy. I read hundreds of comments. And this guy trying to tell me I only read super chats. Chico, the Doomers have been out a lot lately. He's hyper vigilant for idiots. It's not your fault. Oh, it's Rich. He was also the first from his draft class to 300 points. Jersey Roots, you should buy a t-shirt, Corbin. Show some respect. Yeah, you guys are hilarious. Man, this and the 6-0 routing of the Nucks are the best games by far. Best. Yeah, no, I have to agree. I mean, the first game in the West, and coincidentally, they're both the first game of a road trip. Hopefully the Devils perform better Thursday than they did in the middle game of the last 3-game road trip, which was Western Canada. And that was the one that they lost with 5 minutes left to the Flames. Hopefully they come back from this win, realize that they got dominated for large stretches of the game, and that effort likely will not be good enough to beat the Panthers twice in a row. So they really need to come out more fired up and not. It's the old proactive versus reactive. I'm off Roots. The Devils should play 82 games on the road and be banned from the Rock. I would certainly be in favor of that. The insane Pollock. McD in the lineup equals the other team hitting posts and crossbars. Listen, however it happens, I'm not here to be the one to figure it out. But it is what it is. James Cooper, it's crazy how the ice is better in Southern Florida than New Jersey. Husky, Satan's wallpaper in net tonight. Oh, I remember Satan's wallpaper. I remember him playing in the net like it was yesterday. That old Satan's wallpaper. So many beautiful shutouts at the old arena. Brandon, Mac brings so much more to the team than people can comprehend to think about. He makes every player on the other team think twice about every decision they make, and Big Mac can lay some heavy hits. No, absolutely. I forget what game it was. A guy had a jump on him to get a puck in the corner, and the guy saw Mac coming, and he was like, nah, bro, you could just have it. I don't even want that puck anymore. He's like, nah, it's all you. And, totally went his separate way. Jimmy Woo. Bob is a year older and played 58 last year. Jimmy Woo. Oh, you have a little cool picture there, too. That's like that Waves thing. I like that. Yeah, these people have been brainwashed by the math nerds, mind you, that a 34-year-old player is like 100 years old. It's wild. Completely wild. DJ, was an absolute war of a game. Sick one. Keep spinning dubs. Let's go. Going to go to sleep watching the third of this Calgary-Vancouver game. Good night, sir. Fake SST. Deep fake SST. Brandon Thomas, I said it in the summer, but that has never been how enforcers work. It's always about revenge. Stevens played against enforcers every night and still laid the hardest hits in the league. So far, Hellebuck has played 75% of games, Markey 63%, but that might be due to our comparatively hectic schedule. Brandon, not to mention Mac makes the Devils so much more comfortable, it brings the team's confidence up. Yeah, I think it's more of a mental thing than anything else. I think the guys like having him around. He seems like a fun guy. And other teams know of his existence, whether it's on the bench or on the ice. You don't want to play stupid games and win stupid prizes because That prize from Curtis McDermott is not a fun one to have to deal with. Jersey Roots, I'm going to touch you. I don't know what's going on here. Promise. The Jets are not afraid to use Hellebuck, and it's gotten them off to a historic start. Obviously, as the season goes on, he'll cool off, but riding the hot hand is smart if the team keeps winning. And that's what I'm looking for, Doug, right? Like, I'm not trying to run the guy into the ground, but let him get in a groove and get a nice little streak going. It would be nice. You know, the Devils are off to a decent start, but that 3-game losing streak really sucked. You know, even if we won 1 out of the 3, it's like, okay, we were doing okay before that. We hit that skid, and then we've been trying to find consistency. I just want Markstrom to get on top of his game and feel good, and just let him get a string of starts that we hopefully he could go like 4-1 or 5-2 or something like that over a string of games. But it doesn't seem like they're going to give him the chance. I want to see that guy's face that Dylan fought to tar his cheeks. It makes sense why Avs dumped him. I don't know what happened in the 2023 offseason with him. It's coming to the end for him. Winger for Jack. I mean, that was supposed to be Meyer, but it didn't work. So who do you get? If you get another skill guy, I just don't see how it works. And what tough plus skill guy is on the block? Well, I can't tell you who's on the block today, but that picture will be very clear in about 4 months. A little shy of 4 months on trade deadline day. There'll be a lot of guys on the block. My dream is Stamkos still. I don't know how they would make it work cap-wise, but I wanted Stammer so bad in the summer, and I do think he would be, oh my God, Jack, Bratt, and Stammer in the playoffs. Woo! My shootout, Bratt, Cotter, Nico. I think that's what I said. Yeah, that is what I said, I think. I think you have to take Jack and Bratt for what they are and plug in a tough enough winger to complement them. Listen, Bratter's throwing the body. Bratt, Timo Mercer, Cotter, Timo Nico. Brendan Smith is a breakaway specialist. I still trust Jack. Jack just gets a lot of breakaways. I'm definitely not trusting Jack in my first 3. I just can't. Ace and Will about to drop the gloves. Way to start with a W. 2 points in the bank, kids. 2 points in the bank. Let's go. The Devils got dominated. I really disagree. I think it was a stylistic choice to counter a team that's heavier and tougher than they are, and I think it worked like it did versus the Flames. Or how about this? At the end, I would say overall they didn't get dominated in the game, but within the game, they were dominated for minutes at a time. I think maybe that's a fair statement, but they were definitely dominated for stretches of the game. They kind of started pouring it on in the second half of the second period, and they had a better third period. But within the game, there were ugly strings of several minutes in a row for the boys. Hurricanes will be the real test of the style. I might have to go to that one. I hate the Hurricanes so much. Team morale is crucial. Keep Mac rolling. Let Mac cook. Definitely feels like the team is almost all vibes. Keep the vibes good. That's why I go back to Markstrom. Man, we need to sign Kovacevic, but how? There's ways you could get rid of. You could trade. You could free up salary. There's ways to free up money. I just want to see the Devils play like the better team, like they did in the Vancouver game. Even in some games they have won, I did not think they were the better team. They lean on their goalies a lot. Listen, goalie play and finishing your chances makes a big difference. That is the difference in many games. For a while, I thought that the Mercer failed breakaway was going to come back to haunt us. And if we lost, we would have all looked back to that and been like, damn, Mercer, if you could have buried that, we could have won the game. But it didn't matter. They made the best of their other chances. Timo cashed one, and it was a beautiful night. It was a beautiful night in Sunrise. If they can manage, I'm 100% behind tipping a truck for Brady. Oh, boy. That's my that's the dream. James, win or lose, we booze. Drinking some Weller Reserve whiskey. Cheers to you, James. I'm finishing off the Dirty Devil vodka ginger ale here. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's the Panthers. They're an elite team. It's going to be hard for any team to stop them, and they want to roll you. And they're a machine. I wouldn't be shocked if our boys went on a run and we saw them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Kobe, I don't know if he's still here. Kobe's a Panthers fan, but like his second favorite team's the Devils, and he's very active in these chats and the lives. And I think he jokingly said last year at some point, like, Devils, Panthers, Eastern Conference Finals next year. Brandon, if the players can get good on finishing breakaways, I just think they're naturally going to be way better in general. Well, obviously, I mean, and hopefully that does happen. But I don't, outside of practicing, doing shootout practices and practice, that's not really an issue coaching can fix because every breakaway is a very different situation. How close is the nearest attacker? What angle are you coming in from? Who's the goalie? What are his tendencies? There's a lot of stuff. How far out is he coming to challenge? There's a whole slew of variables that could kind of change that. And so most of the time it's going to be a read by the player on the breakaway, and he's going to have to make a decision. Chico, I also understand and agree with the desire to see the team overflowing with talent, just smash teams like 30 plus shots, 30 plus to 10 or something, or more 6-0 wins. Not easy to do in this league. Jay Snow, Otto would have to completely suck this year and everyone would be on Brady. Oh, absolutely. If Staios ever rings the alarm that the Brady talks are open for, they're open for business on Brady Tkachuk, half the league will be in on him for sure. I did hear Brady is not happy with the progress. I mean, why would he be? Chico, I wonder if another part of it too is Keefe doesn't want them getting too used to that style, seeing how the Leafs could really never play this exact style of game and it cost them in the playoffs. We're going to see. I do think the Devils are capable of playing those, pond hockey type matchups with teams that want to do that. We're more than happy to play those games. And I think those are the games that most of the guys on the team really thrive in, and those are the games they want to play. But in the end, to me, I will always take a team like the Panther style of play versus that. And so when those finesse teams, try to do that kind of stuff against a team that's going to smash you and grind you down, I'll take the smashers any day. And so some of our finesse guys have to really get comfortable in those types of games because that's what the playoffs are going to be. And even in March, when these games start getting tighter, teams looking to claw for points in the standings, they're going to be dogfights nightly. In Ottawa, don't chug that too harsh, Ace. If you honk, I'd lose it laughing. If I honk, what the hell's honk? Is that yak? I would give a piece of the Esplanade for what percentage of the Esplanade are you going to put up for Brady? Brady wants out of Ottawa. They're not getting a cup anytime soon. You would imagine that that's the common thought. I wanted Matthew Tkachuk when he got traded. I think we all did. James Cooper, how are you, my friend? Tokens at the tunnel. If we get Brady, the liquor store is going to be sold out for sure. The Leafs also just didn't seem to really listen to Keefe from the outside looking in, especially in those last couple of years. They tuned him out, and it cost them. It's crazy that Buffalo got rid of Eichel and Reinhart. Middlestat, they were a garbage franchise. Buffalo seems cursed, and it's unfortunate. And Lindy Ruff is back there now, and while the team is listening to him, he wants them to get used to crashing and grinding and playing hard defense because that'll be more likely to get them deep in the playoffs. Oh, that's definitely the winning formula. The insane Pollock, Brady Tkachuk will never be a Devil. I hope you're wrong, but it's a long shot. All right. Normal time, winding this up. I'm going to go take a leak. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and I'll close up with any sort of questions or comments you guys have. Taken this leak real quick. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I always wash my hands. Enough with the wash your hands every time. And I'll close up in the next few minutes after I come back. Curious to see what I come back, what types of comments I come back to. But I'll see you guys in about 2 minutes or so. There's the obligatory wash your hands. Stammer has a no move clause. It'd be wild if he waived it only one season. But dude, Nashville's in a teardown. He doesn't want to end his career. He chased the money, but he doesn't want to play on a team not in the playoffs. As much as I want Brady, I think it's going to cost too much. Maybe not. I think it might be cheaper than you think. And I do think, I hate to say it, Nemitz is a valuable trade piece. I don't want to trade him, but if they're dead set on him as being a main piece, I'm doing it if I have to. Stammer not getting moved? Maybe not. Oh, I don't have that kind of time during a live. Come on. The Charmin soft kind. Sometimes I buy the cheap jailhouse stuff. The jailhouse cheap toilet paper is the worst. Brady Tkachuk is a pipe dream. It'll cost too much. Just don't ever see it happening. I know, but let me dream. Let me dream. You guys are big on the dude wipes, huh? Wet wipes, dude wipes. Wet wipes, the single biggest bathroom upgrade I ever made. You guys are hilarious. All right. I think that's it. Unless there's any last minute things in here. I'm exhausted. I'm physically and emotionally exhausted from watching your New Jersey Devils go into Florida and make work of the Florida Panthers by a score of 4-1, ending their 7-game heater. The first place Florida Panthers, the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. And wow, what a night. What a night. And they need to follow it up Thursday. I hope to see more. I agree with you that star players often go for less than what people speculate. I don't think he'd be cheap, but I don't think you're looking at a situation of multiple firsts and Nemitz and Casey. I mean, that's crazy. I think that's crazy. Those Japanese toilets, super soaker your zone for you. You're talking about you're talking about the bidet. The bidet. I don't know how I feel about those. I've never used one. It's a very European thing. The little squirter. I don't know. It's a whole lot. At that point, why not just take a shower? Nemitz at first, and maybe another piece might get it done. Chico, I agree with you there, and I think that's something I certainly would do. Anyone else surprised by the amount of shutouts so far this NHL season in general has had? I'd be curious to know what the number is compared to other seasons. It would be Nemitz and Mercer. I really wouldn't want to trade Mercer. I do think he's a very valuable player for this team. With that being said, if that's the final price, I got to do it. All right, Walt, let a guy live, bro. I'm delirious, and somehow I just keep finding the button every time I move it. Brady's a franchise power forward. His value would be crazy. It'd be high value, but I don't think it's going to be the value of, Nemitz and multiple firsts and Casey or Salayev. I mean, that's just like crazy. Ginger ale is delicious. Ginger ale is absolutely delicious. All right, guys, that's it. I'm dying over here. Wow, what a night. What a night. Your New Jersey Devils have the letdown of the season a couple nights ago in New Jersey at the Rock, being shut out by Mackenzie Blackwood and the San Jose Sharks by a score of 1-0. The Doomers come out in full force. Everyone says the sky is falling, the season's over, yada, yada. And what do? The very next game, they go to Florida, into Sunrise, into the arena of the defending Stanley Cup champions, the 2-time Eastern Conference champions, on a 7-game heater, withstand the war, win a playoff-type battle, beating the Panthers by a score of 4-1, a beautiful win. And like Kevin Weeksy said, and I've used this word before too, I love this word, Weeksy on the post-game said, it was the type of win that could galvanize a team. And he said, this is huge for the New Jersey Devils. And I believe that as well. I would love to know where the boys are celebrating tonight. Probably out, enjoying a couple colas, as Kenny Dano would call them, a couple colas at the local watering hole. And they got to be feeling good. Starting off the road trip with a big W. And they got to be ready for war. And hopefully they come out a little more aggressive in the next game and they don't go into that kind of shell where they have to survive. Because I don't think you beat the Panthers 2 games in a row by doing that. Brandon, have a good night, sir. We were in our zone too much, but we still won. Fully agree. Jersey, like and subscribe. My man, thanks for always looking out for me, Jersey Roots, because I'm bad at this stuff. Like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. It costs nothing. It takes half a second. Insane Pollock, open the phone next time, Ace. I will do that. I've been meaning to do it, and then I just get I'll definitely make a note for the next game. We'll have some call-ins as well. Hopefully it's a big win. I don't know that I want to go back to the phone lines with the Doomers when we lose, but hopefully hopefully it's another win and we'll open the phone lines and the Doomers are still in hiding. John Woodson will tell us why it wasn't a good win, but the elbow room, couple sodas, colas, and Cotter DJing somewhere. Dude, how do you not like Paul Cotter? What a player, what a personality. Paul Cotter, absolute legend. Thanks, Jersey Roots. Luke, appreciate you. I'll do the call-ins for sure. Doomers make the stream entertaining. Jack is 100% hammered at this point. Brother has a pass at the Bing. You think he's got season tickets at the Bing? He should. The Hughes brothers should have a VIP booth at the Bing for life, I think. With free everything. Free beverage, free dances, free everything. Your boy Joe's out there still killing fits. Oh, for sure. No, keep closed if we lose. Yeah, I'm going to open up the phone lines after the next win. Hopefully it's the next game. I can't have the Doomers flood my life. Although I could just dump them real quick. I had the dump on. The phone lines, we win. Natural Canopy, like and sub. Love you guys all. Thank you so much. A fun one. Nothing is more fun than massive wins that everyone counted as a loss. Not your boy, not Ace. He said we're going to get 4 points on this trip. Now I'm getting greedy. Now I want 5 or 6. But great start. Get the win. Marky's a beast. Love this team. Love you guys. Hopefully Thursday we're here having celebration drinks again because they taste so much better than defeatist drinks. But that's it, guys. That is it. I'll be back soon. What a night to be a New Jersey Devils fan. Thank you all for coming out on this glorious evening. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.